Now I will demonstrate how to create a partially pre-populated course instructor assignment file using ReportNet, complete the file, and electronically import. If you don't have a student management system that provides a course instructor assignment extract, it's a good idea to gather some basic information in preparation for a course instructor assignment entry. Here is an example of how you might want to gather your information. I have listed courses and sections along with the name and teach ID of the teachers of each section. This step is not a requirement, just a suggestion. After viewing the training video, you can decide whether this step would be helpful to you. Notes: before you can create a partially pre-populated course instructor assignment file using ReportNet, you must ensure that you have previously entered and locked course and location marking period data in level 0. To create the course instructor assignment file using ReportNet, go to the NYC Charter Data Central website. From the Secure tab, hover over ReportNet and then select Login. You will be presented with the ReportNet Logon screen. Enter your username and password. If you are not sure if you have a ReportNet account or have forgotten your ReportNet username and/or password, please contact our help desk. Click My Home on the IBM Cognos software screen. This will bring up a folder called NYC Charters. Click on that folder and you will be presented with a list that includes extracts and PDF reports for different data components that are available. We are going to click on the folder Extracts. Select the file Course Instructor Assignment, New York City Charter Excel. From the school name drop-down, select the school for which you wish to create a course instructor assignment file. Next, select the current school year from the school year drop-down and click Finish. A course instructor assignment file will be created. This is a sample course instructor assignment file. The first thing you must do, and this is important, is to format the entire worksheet as text. So I'm going to click in the upper leftmost corner of the worksheet. The entire worksheet is highlighted in blue, indicating that the entire worksheet has been selected. I'm going to right-click, say Format Cells, then under the Number tab, select Text and say OK. And now I've formatted my entire worksheet as text. Save the file to your computer or network. Let's review the contents of the worksheet before we begin data entry. The first line is the name of the worksheet. Line 2 tells us that any column headings that are in the color blue indicate a required field. Line 3 is telling us that column headings in orange indicate data only needs to be entered into this field when applicable. Line 4 tells us that green column headings indicate extra information that is provided for your convenience and that you must delete this column before creating your CSV file. We will go into this in a little more detail later on. Line 5 tells us that black column headers indicate fields that you will leave blank. Do not delete columns with black column headers as they are part of the file layout, but you can hide these columns in order to make data entry easier. Lines 6 and 7 contain instructions on how to format your worksheet as text. We have already completed this step. Line 8 is a reminder that when you finish working on your worksheet, you will save it two ways. Once as an Excel file with column headings, and once as a CSV file with column E, the course name, and all header rows deleted. I will demonstrate this a little bit later on in the video. Column A is your district code. I am using sample data, so my district code starts with a 9. Yours will start with an 8. Column B is the location code. My location code is 0003. Yours will be something like 84 capital X 123, for example. When typing in a location code, always remember to capitalize the letter portion of the code. Column C is the school year date. This column should be populated with June 30th of the current school year. We have pre-populated this column for you for the 1920 school year. The school year date is 2020-06-30. Columns D and E, local course code and course name, are pulled directly from the courses that you entered and locked in level 0. Course name is populated for convenience, but this column will be deleted before we save the file as a CSV because it's not really part of the template. We provide the course name to make it easier for you to complete the worksheet. Column F should be populated with the value capital N, capital A, and we use we've pre-populated that column for you. Columns G and H, section code and term code, will be discussed a little later on in the training video. Column I is the marking period code, and for the course instructor assignment template, which we're currently working on, you will always populate this column with capital N, capital A. We've actually pre-populated those values on the worksheet. Column J is just another instance of the district code, and that value has been pre-populated for you. Column K, teacher ID, and column L, instructor start date, and column M, instructor end date, will be discussed a little bit later in the training video. Column P has a black column heading, meaning that this column is to be left blank. We don't want to delete this column, but since we'll not be entering data into this column, we can hide it, and I'm going to do that now. Column T is also a column with a black column heading, so I'm going to hide that column also. And the remaining columns, N through U, are defaulted to the most commonly occurring values, although there may be instances when you will need to change these values. These columns will also be discussed in greater detail in a little while. And to make data entry easier, I'm going to resize my remaining columns. And here's the worksheet with the columns resized. I was able to fit most of my columns on the screen, which should make data entry easier. I will now show you how to complete the worksheet. Here's my document listing all of my courses and sections and the teachers of each of these course sections. I will use this document to assist me with data entry. The worksheet produced by ReportNet is only going to list each course once. The system doesn't know yet how many sections you have for each course. So, in course instructor assignment, we will want to list all of the courses and sections and the teachers of each of these courses and sections. If I look at the document where I collected data for entry, I can see that I have 4 sections of English 9. I only have 1 line of English 9 on my worksheet. So the first thing I want to do is add 3 additional lines for English 9 in the Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to highlight 3 lines below English 9, right click, and say Insert, and now I have 3 blank lines under my English 9 entry. I'm going to select the line with English 9 and copy it to the 3 blank lines below. And now I have 4 lines to enter the data for my 4 English 9 sections. Now I want to finish entering the information for my English 9 course sections. My section codes for English 9 are 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to enter that into the worksheet. Section codes can be alphanumeric or alphanumeric. It doesn't make a difference, it's just a way of differentiating one section from another for the same course. Term code. Enter the term code during which the final grade is earned for each course section. Term codes were defined by your school in the Level 0 location marking period table. In my example, I am using term code 4. If you are unsure how to populate this column for any of your course sections, please contact our help desk. Teach ID. Enter the teach IDs of the teachers who teach each course section. The teacher must exist in Level 0 staff snapshot. In my example, John Adams teaches sections 1 and 2, so I'm going to enter his teach ID into the worksheet rows corresponding to sections 1 and 2 of English 9. And teacher Dana Smith teaches sections 3 and 4 of English 9, so I will enter Dana's teach ID on the rows corresponding with sections 3 and 4. Instructor start date is the first day in the current school year the teacher is assigned to each course section. This cannot be a future date. In my example, all sections of English 9 started on September 9th, 2019, and both John and Dana were assigned to these sections from the first day of classes, so I'm going to enter those start dates now. Note that all dates must be entered in the year dash month dash date format. Instructor end date. Note that this column heading is orange, meaning that entries will be made only when applicable. You will only enter an instructor end date if the teacher's assignment for this course section ends before the last day of the class. Otherwise, leave blank. John Adams and Dana Smith both taught their respective course sections of English 9 for the duration of the course, so I'm leaving this column blank for English 9. And now we're going to discuss the primary instructor indicator, primary special ed instructor indicator, and and primary English as a new language instructor indicators. The primary instructor indicator has been defaulted to capital Y. The primary special ed instructor indicator has been defaulted to capital N, and the primary English as a new language instructor indicator has been defaulted to N. Valid entries for these three columns are capital N or capital Y. The primary instructor indicator is used to identify a staff person that has primary responsibility for the course. Teaching aides and assistants are not to be reported. A capital Y will subject the staff member to a certification match as required by state and federal reporting. At least one staff ID record for each course section must be reported with a capital Y in this field. If a special ed teacher is the only teacher in the class, he or she should be reported with a capital Y in column N and in column O. In co-teaching situations where both teachers have full responsibility for the class, both teachers would need to have a course instructor assignment record for the section, and both teachers would have the primary instructor indicator set to yes. Primary special ed indicator. The primary special ed indicator is used to identify special ed instructors for the course section. Teaching aides and assistants are not to be reported. A Y in this field will subject the staff to a special ed certification match as required by state and federal reporting. If the special education teacher is the only teacher in the class, he or she should be reported with a capital Y in column O and in column N. The primary English as a new language instructor indicator is used to identify English as a new language instructors for the course section. Teaching aides and assistants are not to be reported. A capital Y in this field will subject the staff to an English as a new language certification match as required by state and federal reporting. If the ENL teacher is the only teacher in the class, he or she should be reported with a Y in column N and in column R. Note, if a section has multiple teachers, for example, co-teachers or a general ed teacher along with a special ed teacher, each of those teachers will need to have a course assignment record for that course section with the primary instructor, primary special ed instructor, and primary English as a new language instructor indicators filled out by you in a manner which reflects the instructor's responsibility in the course section. Keep in mind that each course section must have at least one course instructor with the primary instructor assignment indicator set to a Y. In my example, both John Adams and Dana Smith are the only teachers in their respective course sections, and there are no special education or ENL students enrolled in these four course sections. So I'm going to leave the primary course instructor indicators as capital Y, the primary special ed indicators as capital N, and the primary English as a new language instructor indicators as N. The primary instruction delivery method is used to identify the delivery method of the instruction. Valid entries are face, distance, blended, or online. I am accepting the default of face as all of my course sections are taught in a traditional classroom setting. The primary course instructor language code is used to report the primary language used for providing instruction in the course. For bilingual courses, report the language other than English being used. For example, if native Spanish-speaking students are being instructed by a bilingual certified teacher, the Spanish language code would be used for this course. In cases where the teacher provides instruction partly in Spanish and partly in English, the code would still be Spanish. This indicator is not for foreign language instruction courses designed for English-speaking students. There are course codes in the course catalog for foreign language learning. Note, the code for English is capital ENG and the code for Spanish is capital SPA. For other language codes, please contact our help desk. And for the last column on the worksheet, incidental teaching assignment indicator, New York City charter schools will all leave this column with the default capital N. So I've completed entering records for my English 9 course, and I'm going to go on to the next course on my list, Spanish 2. I have 2 sections of Spanish 2, so I'm going to find Spanish 2 on my worksheet and insert a blank line below it and copy my Spanish 2 course information down to that blank line. And now I have 2 lines into which I can enter my Spanish 2 course section information. I'm going to fill in my section numbers, which are 1 and 2, fill in my term codes, and now I'll fill in the teach IDs for the teachers of sections 1 and 2 of Spanish 2. Jackie Collin teaches both sections, so I'll enter her ID into these 2 cells. Fill in my start dates and ensure that my primary instructor indicators, primary special ed instructor indicators, and primary English as a new language instructor indicators are filled out so that they reflect the responsibilities of Jackie Collins in both of these course sections. I check to make sure that the primary instruction delivery method and primary course instruction language indicators are filled out correctly for these 2 course sections, and they are. And for incidental teaching assignment indicators, the charter schools will leave this column with a capital N. So I've finished entering data for my Spanish 2 course, and then I would continue on down the worksheet. And here is my completed worksheet. I've finished entering course instructor assignment records for all of my course sections. I can see I have 4 sections of English 9, 2 of Spanish 2, 1 of Spanish 3, 1 Spanish 4 honors, 3 of chemistry, and I have 1 section of robotics, but robotics is listed twice, and we'll see why in a minute. I'm going to move this document to the side. So why is section 1 of robotics listed twice? I can see here that I have an instructor end date. This teacher stopped teaching section 1 on December 13th, and another teacher became the primary instructor for the course on December 16th. Both instructors need a course instructor assignment record in the course instructor assignment template, and that's why section 1 appears twice. Once I've completed filling out the worksheet, I want to save this file 2 ways. First, I want to save it as an Excel file, and that would be my working document. If I ever needed to go back and make changes, I would use the Excel document. Then I'm going to save the file as a CSV file with the course name column deleted and all header rows deleted. The CSV file is strictly for import into level 0. So let's first save the file as an Excel file. I say File, Save As, specify where I want to save the file, give my file a name, and then click Save. Now remember that I said the course name column heading was in green to remind you that the column needs to be deleted before saving the file as a CSV. Course name is not part of the course instructor assignment template. We provided the course name to aid with data entry. So I'm going to delete the course name column. And now I will delete header rows. And now I can save the file as a CSV. I say File, Save As, specify the location where I want to save the file, give my file a name, but this time under the Save As type, I'm going to select CSV, delimited, and say Save. I say yes to this question, and now I've saved my file 2 ways. Once as an Excel file with column headings intact, and once as a CSV file with the course name column and header rows removed. I'm going to close this file now. I'll be asked if I want to save the file again. I'm going to say don't save. I've already saved my file twice, once as an Excel file and once as a CSV. And here are my 2 files, my CSV file and my Excel file. If I found I needed to make corrections to my course instructor assignment file, it's the Excel file I would open up, make corrections, and save again as an Excel and as a CSV. The CSV file is strictly for import into level 0. You don't want to just click on a CSV file and let it open in Excel, as dates and other data will be reformatted. If you wanted to open up a CSV file to look at it, you would right click, say Open With, Notepad, or another text editor. And this is what a course instructor assignment in CSV format might look like. I'm going to close this file now. Once I have created my course instructor assignment CSV file, I can come over to level 0 and import it. From the gray menu bar, select Electronic Import, Course Instructor Assignment. You will be presented with the Course Instructor Assignment Import screen. Step 1, select Import File Type. You will accept the default. Step 2, insert update choices. There are 2 selections. Do not delete Level 0 Course Instructor Assignment records, or delete all valid Course Instructor Assignment records for current district and current year. We recommend deleting all valid Course Instructor Assignment records for current district and current year, provided you are importing a course instructor assignment file containing all current course instructor assignment records for your district code. Step 3, import file location. Click the Browse button. You will be presented with a navigation pane. Navigate to the CSV file that you wish to import into Level 0. I found my file, I click it, and then say Open. Step 4, click the Prepare Import File button. Level 0 performs some low-level error checks. Green messages mean success. Red messages mean there are errors. If you need assistance resolving errors, please contact our help desk. Step 5, click the Validate Data button. Level 0 performs additional error checks. Again, green messages mean success. If you have red or blue messages that you need assistance resolving, please contact our help desk. My data imported with all green messages, so I know that my data imported successfully. To view the records that I imported into Level 0, I can go to Reports, Course Instructor Assignment. Click on the District School Summary Report. I am in the demo database and have multiple locations. You will have only one, and you will select that location. I can see that I have 13 records in location 0003. Click on your location, and a list of all staff members with Course Instructor Assignment records will be displayed. If I want to drill down to a particular instructor, I would click on the instructor's ID, and I will be presented with the Course Instructor Assignment manual entry screen for that staff member. If I scroll down, I can see that this staff member has 2 Course Instructor Assignment records that were imported. To return to the District School Summary Report, click on the Back to School Report button, and you are returned to the District School Summary Report. Once you have imported your school's Course Instructor Assignment records successfully, you will want to lock that data for transmission. Go to L1 Data Prep Course Instructor Assignment. Click the Validate Now button, check the checkbox, and click the button Create File for Level 1 Submission. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Suffolk BOCES takes all data that was locked and transmits it to the New York City Department of Education. On Friday, that data is loaded by the New York City Department of Education to Level 2, and Level 2 reports are refreshed the following Monday. And that concludes the training video, New York City Charter Schools Course Instructor Assignment. If you have questions or need assistance, please contact us at our help desk phone number 631-218-4134 or by email nyccharterdata@esboces.org. Thank you.